You turn the lock, thinking you're safe.
But tonight, we have a story that will make you question that. Story about a sound in the night, keys that move on their own, and the horrifying feeling that someone or something is already inside, watching you.
Welcome to Dark Facts.
Okay, picture this. It's nighttime, the house is quiet, and you're scrolling on your phone. Probably like you are right now. And then, suddenly, something happens that'll make you question everything you thought you knew about feeling safe in your own space. That's the vibe we're diving into today. You ready for a truly creepy story? Because once you hear it, I guarantee you'll be double-checking those locks tonight. So, let me tell you about Sarah. She's 28, lives alone in a small apartment, not too fancy, not too rundown, and it's in one of those neighborhoods that feels safe enough during the day, but gets just a little unsettling at night. You know what I mean, right? Like, it's fine, but also, why is the wind making so much noise at 2 a.m.? Anyway, Sarah prides herself on being super rational. She's not one of those people who jumps at every shadow or hears a bump and immediately assumes there's a ghost. No, she's cool-headed, practical even. So when something weird happened one evening, her brain didn't immediately jump to spooky conclusions. But as the night went on, most of that super rational attitude went right out the window. It all started with her keys. It's a regular Tuesday night, and Sarah comes home from work, feeling tired but ready to unwind. She drops her bag, pulls off her shoes, locks the door behind her like she always does, and tosses her keys onto the kitchen counter. Nothing unusual. She pours herself a glass of wine, not gonna lie, classy touch, and starts scrolling through TikTok while sitting on her couch. After an hour or so, she gets up to go to the kitchen for a snack. Remember, her keys were on the counter. It's where she always keeps them, but now, gone. She assumes she just misplaced them, so she starts retracing her steps. She checks the couch, rummages through her bag, even opens the fridge because, let's be real, we've all done that weird panic check before. No keys. But here's the kicker. When she goes back to the counter, she notices her keychain wedged between the salt shaker and a random envelope. It's barely visible. Someone, or something, had practically tucked it out of sight. She brushes it off as her own mistake, but she also gets that tiny pang of doubt, like, wait, why would I stick my keys there? Still, no biggie, until what happens next? Cut to midnight. Sarah's passed out on the couch after scrolling for what felt like hours. Been there, right? She wakes up to something faint. Not a loud noise, just scratch, 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 like fingernails brushing against fabric. It's coming from the far corner of the room, where she keeps her coat rack. Now, Sarah thinks maybe it's her imagination. She's still half asleep and doesn't trust herself to judge a sound accurately. So she sits up, tunes her ears to full hyperfocus mode, and waits. Nothing. No noise, no movement. Total silence. She laughs at herself for being ridiculous, turns off the TV, and goes to bed. But as soon as the lights go out, the same sound starts again. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Like something wanting her to notice. Sarah straight up bolts upright. She grabs her phone, turns on the flashlight, and heads back into the living room, bracing herself for whatever might be happening. And of course, there's nothing. Coat rack untouched, furniture undisturbed. If you've ever had one of those moments where your heart's racing, but the thing causing you anxiety isn't even there, yep, that's exactly where Sarah's at. She shrugs it off, blames her mind playing tricks on her, and goes to bed for the second time. The next morning, she's getting ready for work, trying to forget the whole thing, but everything feels slightly off. The vibe in her apartment? Weird, unsettled. She can't explain it, but she feels like someone is watching her. Or better yet, like something isn't quite right. Now she's starting to feel paranoid. And look, rational Sarah, she hates feeling paranoid. So before leaving for work, she makes a very deliberate choice. She sets up her phone near the window facing the living room. She hits record, leaves it running, and heads out. It's her way of proving to herself that nothing weird is happening, that this is just normal life in an old apartment that sometimes creaks and groans.
When Sarah gets back home that evening, she grabs her phone, kind of forgetting her little experiment, until she remembers, oh yeah, there's hours of video footage to skim through. She expects to scroll past hours of nothingness, maybe catch her cat wandering around at best. But then, halfway through the recording, there's movement. Okay, not her cat, not a mouse, not even shadows shifting from cars passing by outside. Nope. This is very clear movement. Someone, or something, steps out slowly from behind the coat rack. At first, it's hard to make out their shape. It almost looks like they're hunched down trying to stay hidden. But as the person moves closer to the coffee table, you see them fully. Dark clothes, dirty shoes, and here's the worst part. They're carrying something sharp, pointed. Sarah freezes, gripping her phone so hard she swears she might accidentally crush it. At this point, her brain starts firing with 1,000 thoughts. Was someone in her apartment this whole time? How did they get in? Are they still here? What do they want? Rational Sarah fully exits the scene. Panic takes over. Heart pounding, she rewinds the footage, terrified but unable to stop herself. She watches as the figure roams her living room, pokes around the couch, steps toward her kitchen counter, the exact spot where she'd found the keys shoved earlier, and then, this is the part that'll make you lose sleep. They look directly into the camera lens, as if they knew Sarah was recording. They stand completely still, staring at the phone, before retreating back to the coat rack and disappearing. Sarah doesn't know how long she sat there frozen. Minutes? Hours? By the time she snapped out of it, the first thing she did was call the police. She didn't even know what she'd say. Hi, someone might have been lurking in my apartment last night. But the urgency in her voice must have been clear, because they sent officers over right away. When they checked out the place, there was no sign of anyone, no evidence of a break-in. The windows were locked, the door hadn't been tampered with, and honestly, the police looked at her like she might have been imagining things. Even showed them the video, but the face was blurry, the movement indistinct. One of the cops suggested it might have been an elaborate prank or a neighbor sneaking in. But how does that explain the locked doors? Since then, Sarah can't shake the unease in her own home. She changed her locks, added security cameras, even quit her job and moved to a new place months later. But in the back of her mind, she still wonders who or what that was. And the scariest part? There was never an explanation. All right, here's where I pass the mic to you. What do you think happened that night? Ghost? Prank gone wrong? Just some creep who somehow got lucky with an unlocked door? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to know. And hey, if this story gives you goosebumps, share it with a friend who loves this kind of content. Or maybe with someone who claims they don't believe in scary stuff, because after hearing this, they might just change their mind. Would you stay in that apartment after this? Let me know.